Something happens to your money in the fall, and it hides inside one ordinary thing, the list. The list that was one folder on Monday and by Thursday has somehow grown to a pair of shoes, a registration fee, more coffee, and a thing that you can't quite remember, but know you are forgetting. It grows every time you walk past a store. Summer can let your list stay short. August has other plans. There's a real reason that a season of small scattered costs feels so much heavier than any single price tag on it. And it comes down to how much your mind can actually hold at one time. I'm Coach Janet J. And today on your next best step, we are looking at why fall spending lands as a mental weight, not only a number, and the one small move that lightens the load before you ever reach the register. The loudest version of this is back to school. You walk into one store for one folder, and you walk out $90 lighter, holding a bag of things you're not really sure you needed, yet they sounded good at the time, plus a nagging sense that you forgot the single item you came in for. Maybe that's you with the supply list folded in your purse. Maybe you're the grandmother covering what your daughter cannot stretch to this month. The aunt mailing a care package. The teacher restocking her own classroom out of her own pocket. Or the empty nester shipping a box to a college kid 2 states away. And maybe none of that is your life at all. Maybe there is no backpack in your house and no first day photo on your calendar. Fall still finds your wallet. The heating bill starts to climb back up. The summer clothes do not fit the upcoming October mornings. The fall classes and the church programs start asking for their fees again. And if you are on Medicare, the middle of October opens a window running through early December where you are expected to sort through next year's plans and the mail that's been stacking up on the counter and deciding whether to keep what you have or change it. Different list, same season, the same steady pull on your attention and your money. There's an old line in Proverbs that has nothing to do with shopping and everything to do with this exact season. Proverbs 27:23 says, "Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds." Obviously, that's farming language. Know what you already have before you go out to acquire more. The very next verse adds that riches do not last forever, which keeps this from being about piling up more stuff. The heart of it is attention. A wise woman knows already what is in her closet, her drawers, and her cupboards before she fills a single cart. Let me put a real number next to the feeling for one reason only, so that you can see the size of this thing is real. Let's take back to school, one of the loudest examples. A national retail survey this past year found that families with children in elementary through high school were planning to spend an average around $858 for the season. Clothing, shoes, supplies, and a sizable chunk of that in electronics. And that is one slice of fall. Stack the wardrobe refresh, the heating bill, the activity fees, and the first whisper of holiday savings on top, and you can see why the season already asks so much more of you than the slow middle of summer may have. I'm not handing you that figure to scold anyone or to set a target. When a season asks for that much across dozens of small choices, the weight you feel makes complete sense. That is a great deal of math to hold at once. And the phrase hold at once is the actual key. Researchers have found for decades that the mind can only keep a handful of separate things in play at one time. Early work put that number around 7. Later work brought it closer to 4. The trouble is that back to school and the rest of fall land on you as dozens of loose things all at once. The size changes, the fees, the bill, the thing you meant to check. And that is well past what your mind was built to carry. The way the brain gets around that limit is grouping. When you cluster a scattered pile into a few labeled groups, the same information suddenly fits inside what your mind can hold. A few clusters to carry instead of dozens of loose pieces. So bring this to where you actually are right now. It's the middle of August. Summer has not quite let go. The season ahead is probably filling up, and the spending has already begun its climb. This is the exact stretch where the pile in your head grows faster than anything actually gets bought. One more thing remembered in the shower. One more thing added on the way to the register. That growing pile, more than any single price, is the weight you have been feeling. And lightening it costs nothing and takes about a minute. This one ordinary topic touches every part of you. Mentally, it is the long, loose list your mind keeps trying to hold on to at once. Physically, it's the extra trips, the tight shoulders in the parking lot, and the late scrolling through the carts that cost you sleep. Emotionally, it's the low static of never being sure you quite got it all and the small dread of remembering something at bedtime. And spiritually, it's the invitation to bring order to what feels scattered and to trust that a season this full is still something you can walk through with a clear head. Your next best step this week is the 3-list cart check, and it works for any fall cart: the school run, the wardrobe order, the activity signups, the seasonal odds and ends. Before you buy, you sort what is in front of you into 3 groups. Must have: the things you truly need right now. Already have: the scissors, the boots from last year that are perfectly fine, the half-used supplies hiding somewhere in a drawer. And can wait: the things that would be nice maybe next month and are not urgent today. You don't need paper for any of this. You can do it standing in the aisle or looking at your online cart. And here's the single move that matters most. Take one item out of the must-have group and move it to can wait. Just one. That small shift does 2 things at once. It trims the spend and it lightens the pile your mind is carrying, because that item now sits in a group instead of floating loose with everything else. The size of this season is real. Back to school alone runs near $858 for a family with school-age children. And fall stacks plenty more on top. So the weight you feel is not in your imagination. Proverbs invites you to know what you already have before you buy more. And your mind carries a few clear groups far easier than one endless loose pile. The 3-list cart check hands you all 3 in one move. See the season clearly. Honor what you already have in your home and move one item to can wait. That is your next best step for today. If today's episode helped, would you take a moment and leave a rating or quick review wherever you are listening? It is the single biggest way another woman, the one standing in that aisle or holding that stack of fall mail right now, finds her way to this show. I am so grateful for everyone. I will see you on Friday. Take your next best step.